So we were both very motivated by a problem that we perceived in the world, which is that almost everybody is born with this innate desire to make music, and everybody tries to learn an instrument at some point, and almost all of those people quit after 6 months or a year or whatever, because learning to play an instrument is just too damn difficult for most people. They don't have the time or talent or patience or whatever, and so the world is full of all these people who feel the urge to make music but have no way to tap into that desire, and we wanted to solve that problem, and we actually started doing a bunch of early research in that area when we were students. And around 97, 98, we saw the first music games start to emerge from Japan. Parappa was a particularly impactful game for us, Parappa the Rappa, which was created by Masaya Matsura in Japan. So these were some of the early rhythm action games that turned rhythmic input into gameplay. And it's funny, at the very beginning, conceptually we kind of looked down on it because it wasn't very sophisticated compared to the kind of stuff that we were doing. But when we actually played it for the first time, we realized a couple of things. First of all, it was incredibly accessible and incredibly fun. And more importantly, it had stickiness and staying power because it gave...
Well, it provided a goal.
It provided a goal,
right.
Objectives, objective criteria for success and failure.
You know, giving people just a very simple game-like objective while they're making music really is a powerful thing. And that's how Frequency was born. The artistic vibe of Frequency is pretty...
Well, the musical sensibility was electronica
very
focused,
techno-electronica.
And the visual design was also very kind of cyberscapey.
Right.
So very electronic and abstract and kind of cold visual design.
Yeah, in fact, so Greg LaPiccolo, who is our VP of Product Development, kind of had the initial idea of having this tunnel that you are traveling through, where the surfaces of this tunnel would be musical material. And where we ended up with was a game that was essentially a multi-track beat matching game, where each surface or each subsurface that you can be on inside this tunnel represents an instrument. And so that instrument might be drums or bass, guitar, keyboards, even vocals, kind of spread all around this tunnel. As you're traveling through it, you get to hear the music, and in fact you are supposed to play the music by beat matching.
The painful lesson for us from Frequency and Amplitude is that we had created a game, or a pair of games, that we were very proud of, artistically, musically, from a game design standpoint. We were really proud of those games.
And they rated very high.
Yeah, reviewers loved them. We won tons of awards and we got great scores.
And they didn't sell very well.
And they did not sell well at all. And not for lack of trying. I mean, we had a great publisher, Sony, who put real marketing money behind them and really made an effort. But the kind of cold, hard lesson that we learned from those games was that it's not enough to make a game that is fun once you start playing it. You need to make a game that can be easily explained and that can be sold to people conceptually, even without them ever having tried it. Becoming a master of Guitar Hero and playing like insane solos, that takes like 4 months of hard labor, whereas in Guitar Hero or Rock Band, whereas in the real world that would be like, I don't know, 28 years of hard labor to play an equivalent, expert guitar solo. So it's just the ratio between work and payoff is so much better. In
the coordination involved and sort of the muscle memory and the thought process you go through as you learn these things is probably not that dissimilar from actually learning a real instrument.
Well, there's also an inspirational element to it. It's not just the physical technique, but I think people get a taste of what it feels like to make music on an instrument, and that's hugely inspirational. Like we get letters all the time from fans who basically say, "Look, thank you for Rock Band or Guitar Hero. I've gone on after getting inspired by Guitar Hero or Rock Band, I've gone on to learn real guitar, or after developing skills in drums and Rock Band, I've gone on to become a real drummer." First we made Guitar Hero, right? And then for the next product cycle, we essentially had to make a game that, in addition to guitar, added bass and drumming gameplay with a completely new interface and hardware design, and singing gameplay, and meaningful interaction between all of those things, with downloadable content infrastructure for selling new music.
And online gameplay.
And
one of the real challenges for us was to make it feel like it was a full band playing together. In other words, that you cared about what your other band members were doing.
Yo, check it. Gonna wanna memorize my moves.
A point came in the evolution of the Rock Band franchise where it was time for us to start thinking about what was next. And we now had this proficiency with alternate input devices and hardware manufacturing. And we had actually been motivated by dance games for quite a long time. Even, we thought the early Dance Dance Revolution games were great. We really enjoyed them. But we also found them to be a pretty shallow simulation of dancing because stepping on buttons on a floor isn't really what dancing is about. It's a full body experience. And around, 2008 or 2009, something like that, we decided to start prototyping a dance game. And so we were working with, off-the-shelf hardware, sensing hardware of a variety of types, and prototyping different dance experiences that tracked the motion of your whole body, not just not.
Yeah, this is where we were really figuring out, very basics of how do you teach people to dance. What do you do? Do you try to make it like a dance studio? Do you try to make it like something else? Do you mimic what Avatar is doing in front of you, kind of mirror image style? Do you have a bunch of abstract objects coming towards you that you have to hit? It could have been anything, but through a bunch of experimentations, we sort of arrived at essentially what is the kind of the Dance Central methodology of teaching you how to dance and setting up gameplay around it.